WLFE-DB Digital Network are engaging in the safe space. What is safe space? A safe space is a supporting and affirming environment for individuals within the LGBTQ+ community. Each vodcast displaying the Safe Space logo will have resources available on hand for those in need without judgment. Here at WLFE-DB Digital Network, we care. We listen, we support, we understand.
Warning, the following video contains strong language which may be offensive to some viewers and or inappropriate for children. The content within this video is intended for mature audiences only.
Inside the Drag Closet with Jade. Join Jade Devere and her fabulous team of guests as they discuss all things drag, from wigs to makeup to performances and everything in between.
Join us at WLFE-DV.com for upcoming shows and more.
Well, hello there, kids. Welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, the interactive vodcast where we talk about all things drag and some things that aren't. Who knows? We're really just here to have a good time. We have an amazing episode planned for you this evening. We have two of my favorite drag kings in the world on the show tonight. My wonderful drag child, IZZY AHEE, is here this evening, as well as the incredibly talented Jay Crimson. I'm super excited to have them with us this evening. Unfortunately, my beautiful co-host Amethyst Diamond could not join us this evening. She's dealing with a bit of an issue. She is okay. She just unfortunately couldn't be with us this evening, but our heart goes out to her. But that means there's more time for me. I know. It's so exciting. And speaking of me, why don't I give you a little who, what, and where? Well, my name is Jade Deverre. I am the host of Inside the Drag Closet here on WLFE-DB.com. I am a drag performer. I absolutely love drag. I've been doing it for roughly 437 years. It's so much fun. I recommend everybody out there do drag every once in a while. Treat yourself. You deserve it. What am I wearing? Well, tonight, after Halloween ended, I realized I could go back to being bright and colorful and fun. So I wanted to break out some hair from the incredibly talented Marcus Carr. You can find him on Instagram. My face tonight is Wet n Wild. It is Morphe. My lips are forgettable, apparently. Oh, it's my Jeffree Star knockoff lips color. My lips haven't fallen off yet. My outfit is from Fashion Nova. I wanted to get something new and sparkly and fun and treat myself a little bit. My nails I got from the dollar store. My jewelry is, of course, now that we're back on it, Rocks by Cox. Yeah. And what else am I wearing? And my pajama pants are from, never mind. Where can you find me? Well, you can find me every Wednesday right here on Inside the Drag Closet. I am 99% of the time here. Every once in a while I do take a break and, you know, it's craziness. You can actually find me this Friday at Divas Down Under at the Harrisburg Comedy Zone. It's an amazing show. We are going to have Amethyst Diamond, Elizabeth Hardon, Poison, myself, Sapphire D. Dior, and Paula Frost. Sadly, Majesty did have to bow out. She had a very valid reason. We don't hold that against her. So definitely check her out when you get a chance to. Where else can you find me? I am booked all over the place. I will be doing Murder Mysteries this month at Booby's Brewery. I have my first booking at the Warehouse down in Maryland. I'm very excited about that. I'll be there with Amethyst Diamond, Vicky Fisher, and Phoenix Fisher. That's going to be a party. Oh, we got some comments. We got a lot of people. Jesus, a lot of comments. All right. We got Vicky and Robin tuning in this evening. Good to see the twins. We've got Raven Johnston. Hi there. Fancy meeting you here. I feel like I'm going to be chatting with you in a few minutes. Weird. Miss Tammy is here. Her daughter might not be here, but Tammy is here. I'm so happy to see you. We got Cassie Hunter. Hey, girl. Hey. Violet LaFay. I love that name, girl. It is so good and so delicious. Amber is watching. Gorgeous Jade. Thank you. My husband challenged me tonight to get back to doing a bigger face because I've gotten very, very tight and very small with my makeup. So I wanted to get bigger. It's not as big as I used to go, but I like it tonight. And that's really all that matters. Casey watching. Hello, hello, hello. Jade, you look absolutely stunning. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Moxie Sillin. Hello, Jade and guests on Facebook. Hello, darling. Oh, who is this? Hi, love. Oh, it's Ivy Blue Austin from Rehoboth. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? We need to catch up sometime because you are sickening. And I feel like only doing one show together is not nearly enough. So we need to work together again. Orion Angel is watching this evening. Hello, Orion. Hope you are doing well. Oh, and the chat moved on me. Oh, Tammy thinks my eyes are beautiful. I love a purple and pink eye. I always feel just fun being colorful. Orion, I dedicate every bite of my sushi platter to you. Oh, what are you having? If there's eel on that platter, I'm gonna be down there in a few minutes. I'll fight you. I want some sushi. Vince, pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you as well. We've been chatting for a while, so I mean, we know each other. We know. Oh, Teddy is watching this evening. Hello, Teddy. How are you? Bright Hawk Productions is watching this evening. I look fabulous. Oh, thank you, Bright Hawk. Bright Hawk is the amazing partner of IZZY AHEE. Marcy and Carrie are watching. Oh my God, the chat is blowing up tonight. Amazing. Wow. Love the blue and purple hues together. I know. I feel right. I feel right, Brian. I feel right. Oh, Violet, I apologize. They, them pronouns. My bad. Thank you for the name compliment, though. Oh, it's so good. You know what? I'm the dummy. Jay already told me that, and I already forgot. Because you put a wig on, and instantly your brain just goes dumb. But we are going to get into things this evening. We are going to start off with my first guest this evening. They are one of my fabulous drag children. I have known them for over 10 years. They actually were at my wedding, and they have moved away from the area, but I am always happy when I get to spend some time with my kids. So let us welcome to Inside the Drag Closet, IZZY AHEE.
Hey, everyone. How's it going?
Good. Why don't you give us a little who, what, and where about you?
Well, I'm IZZY AHEE. I'm also known as Hollis Taylor. And, I'm an author and generically a weirdo. And when I'm a drag, I like to be called IZZY. And what am I wearing? Well, this is another one of my sort of personas that came out of my drag creativity. My name is Toby Longbottom. I am a great adventurer from the land of Longbottom. Yeah, exactly. I grow Longbottom leaf in the land of Longbottom. And so that's what this outfit's all about. I made up my own hobbit for the fair. And I haven't been in it since COVID, so it's a lot of fun to bring him back. And Toby's a lot of fun. The first time I did Toby was a hobbit was in a competition for creative costume. So it's a fun thing. And where can you find me? You can find me online. You can look up IZZY AHEE, and you can just go to my website, divineandrogen.com, and then you can find me just about anywhere.
Amazing. Now, IZZY, a big focus for this month for Inside the Drag Closet is we wanted to bring back guests who had been on the show before but have impacted us in some way. And I want to know, what have you been up to since you were last on Inside the Drag Closet?
Well, I actually started a really cool show with my drag, I don't know, I call him my drag brother. His name is Lacrosse Ortiz. So some of you guys may know him. And Lacrosse and I got together because, well, we kind of have an interest in spiritual things. And so we thought it would be nice if instead of telling queers that they're wrong in a spiritual manner, we say, actually, you are sacred because you are trans or non-binary or whatever. So, in other words, you are sacred because you're a drag queen. So even you, Jade, you are doing sacred work by doing what you're doing. So that it's actually important for human evolution. So we kind of have serious and semi-serious conversations on Rainbow Soul. So that's like been my big thing. And it's been a lot of fun. Just exploring all kinds of topics. We have indigenous people on and indigenous tribes because lacrosse is indigenous. And we've done medium readings. And last week we had a open Samhain ritual. Samhain is another name for Halloween.
So for those of you who don't understand what Samhain is, you're probably just wondering, I've never heard that word before. You have seen that word before, and you have probably mispronounced it as Samhain. It is not pronounced Samhain, kids. It is Samhain. And I believe that is the Welsh term,
Celtic.
correct?
Yeah, it's from the Celtic. And like lacrosse always says, hey, we're all indigenous to somewhere. So for me, I'm a white person, last I checked. And so that means that my family's probably, my roots are probably from over there somewhere. And I resonate. That's kind of where Halloween came from. Just so you all know, it is when the super Christians say Halloween's a pagan holiday, they're not lying.
Nope.
They're actually telling the truth.
And it's valid. Everyone, I've always hated people using the term pagan as a negative because the term pagan means polytheistic. That's it.
Yeah.
You know,
Or it used to mean country people. It used to just mean
True.
people that lived out in the country. So for me, technically here in Denver, in Colorado, I mean, Denver's like 40 minutes away, but I live out in the country. I live out in the forest. My closest neighbor is a tree.
Yeah.
Lots.
With all that Longbottom weed.
Well, they're really quiet. Yeah. I can just grow Longbottom leaf and life is grand.
Amazing. I love some of the comments we're getting right now are just amazing. Amen. Even as a follower of Jesus, I approve of this message. Rainbow Soul is such a beautiful concept because people always see us as drag performers, but don't think about like the spirituality of what we do. I mean, for me, it's very separate. You know, my drag is one thing. My spirituality or lack thereof is a completely separate thing, but that's not the same for everyone. So,
and I think we don't just talk about drag. We talk about being trans too, or queer in general, and living a queer life. And we're also coexist. We believe in coexist. So if you never heard the coexist thing, it essentially means that no matter what spiritual path you walk, whether you're a worshiper of Jesus or not, everybody is going to the same place. We're just doing it differently.
Ooh, I love that statement. We're all going to the same place. It's just we're getting there differently.
Yeah. And in the end, we all just need to be good to each other and respect each other.
That's so true. Yeah. Our darling Trent Hexam says, love everything you're doing for the queer community.
Thank you, Trent.
We love Trent here on Inside the Drag Closet. The Island of Misfit Toys also loves this. I love that name.
Me
Misfit
too.
Toys, I'm sorry. Oh, I need a nap. I see Jamie Angel. I am looking forward to being with you on Rainbow Soul on the 21st.
Yeah, Eve is going to be featured as an artist, a very special artist. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it.
I've told this story once, but I'm going to tell it a million times. I got to work with them just recently in York, and they moved me to tears performing True Colors by Cyndi Lauper because it was very fascinating in that moment because Jamie Angel is in a wheelchair and signs. And I never put two and two together that they can't sign and move at the same time. So they came out, signed the number, and just everyone was moved in that moment. And it was beautiful to watch. And they are so ridiculously talented.
Yeah, and really amazing artists. So I think we're in for a huge treat. Hopefully you can check it out, Rainbow Soul. We're on Sunday nights. You can just look up Rainbow Soul Vodcast and you'll find it. YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and we're about to come up with a website, rainbowsoul.show. If you go to Divine Androgen, you'll find it.
Nice.
We're just waiting for the right thing to happen. Rainbowsoul.show might be working as of now, actually.
I love that. I love the time delay of technology. It's always fun.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of technology, we were talking about it earlier. You can always watch Inside the Drag Closet on www.jadedevere.com. So make sure you are liking and subscribing to the show. And if you're watching on Facebook, please share that you're watching the show right now. Share it. That's how we get noticed. Just, that little share button down at the bottom. Go right ahead. It's share, not, share. I need a nap. Oh my God. I had the day off and I'm loopy today. So, Izzy, it has been a long time since we have hung out and I miss you terribly. But what is one thing during this year of COVID that you have gone, I want to do that once we get back to performing in person?
I think I think it might be Hobbit. I mean, my Hobbit, Toby, but I don't know. I have a couple of other numbers that are kind of like, I have this one about a captain look with a captain's hat. And
fun.
I don't want to say too much about it because it would be a treat. And it could happen. It could happen sooner rather than later, especially here in Denver.
Nice. Sorry, I'm just commenting on one of the questions. Sadly, our Inside the Drag Closet logo is blocking your pronouns.
Oh.
So I'm making sure to cover that. Izzy does use they, them pronouns. We were talking about pronouns earlier before the show started, just because there are so many new pronouns coming up all the time. And some of them I find amazing and fascinating. What is one form of pronoun that you're just like, ooh, I had never thought of that?
I actually like the Z ones. Z,
Mhm.
Zim, Zer. I think they're pretty cool. And in fact, I encourage people that are playing around with neutral pronouns to use them on me. You don't have to use they, them. I just use that because that's the simplest one for people to use. But I've known some people that were kind of nerdy and they like to play around with pronouns and playing around with how to say things. And so I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Totally use any gender neutral pronoun for me. Any gender neutral pronoun you want. And I even have a friend that actually, she's one of the editors. Faye is the editor. See, they don't use regular pronouns. They use Faye. That is their pronoun. And so I always get confused how to talk about them. And so Faye like me to refer to them as Faye instead of they or she. She's okay if you do. Like, Faye doesn't get offended, but Faye likes you to use Faye. And Faye was the editor for my book, Divine Androgen. And they're also autistic. So I just kind of use them all. And Faye thinks that's great.
Nice.
Because trying to use the words is the hard part, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you're typing it, you can just erase what you said. But if you're speaking it, it's a little harder.
Yeah. And one of the things I've always learned is if you misgender someone, fix it, don't belabor the fact, and learn from it.
Yeah.
I did it tonight. So you fix it and you move on and you don't make the mistake again. In a new job I am undertaking, we do have someone who uses they, them pronouns, and nobody at the job will use they, them pronouns. Well, they're not going to like me when I come in because I'm going to tell them that is not their pronoun. Please address them correctly, or this will become a problem. Simple as
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, and sometimes I do that for children,
Mhm.
especially young children that can't tell me otherwise. If they're too little, I just use they.
Yeah.
And I say that to the parents, and the parents are always some parents are kind of impressed because they're like, "Oh, that's nice of you to consider that my child may not be." Wow, okay. And then that really gets their brain going, especially if they're allies anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one more thing before we move on to our next guest. Because I love it, I want to talk about the dancing hippo.
That's like the best. It's so made for drag queen story time. It's perfect for drag queen story time.
I just love that your partner Bright Hawk has come up with a children's book that it demystifies. No. How do I even word this?
Well, first of all, it doesn't have any gender pronouns. So
Yeah.
all of the characters in the story we just use they for them, or we use the hippo or the elephant. And there's actually, I have a little story to tell you why we really shifted it when my partner, she does okay with she pronouns, but she also is a little gender variant and has always thought about that in herself. And when we, as a storyteller, I'm the great hobbit that comes along and helps wrangle the kids, and because I'm particularly good with kids. And so here we are at this little shop, and there's this little kid in a small mountain town in Colorado. And this little kid comes up, and apparently they had been at the library just the week prior, and they wanted to make sure that Brighthawk was going to tell the story, The Dancing Hippo. And I was like, okay. And so I start answering the kid. I'm like, yeah, don't worry. She always tells that story. She always tells that story to this kid. And the kid is kind of like, okay, right? And they're all excited. And they keep asking me like every minute, like excited kid. And then I'm like, yeah, don't worry, she'll tell it. And and the child says, well, the reason I want to listen to the story is because, well, I like to wear girls' clothes, but my dad said I'm not allowed because I'm a boy. I like to wear girls' clothes. And I said, well, I dress like a boy, and my mom told me that I was a girl. And I realized as I watched this child take in Brighthawk telling the story was that the story is exactly the trans story. The hippo is dancing and the elephant comes out and says, no, hippos are not allowed to dance. Hippos don't dance. What's wrong with you? And then the hippo goes through this whole emotional thing and meets all these little characters that tells them otherwise. And then they go back to being dancing at the end. It is the trans story without being the trans story, if you know what I'm saying. And so then finally the hippo falls into the light and wow. And so when we were done this gig, I say to my partner, Brighthawk, I'm like, Brighthawk, this story has to be no gender pronouns. I know she was really working hard not to gender any of the characters in the story. And she was like, oh, and I explained what happened with the little kid who was so identifying with the hippo. And if you watch this child listen to the story, he was like, they were just so cute. And the artwork was by Amanda J. Moore, who's a really great artist, who's actually working on her second book. And she's a great ally. She's a really special ally. And the special thing about this book is that it's phenomenal in that it is the story, the trans story. It is. And I also want to say that as the publisher, and I created the ebook. So if you, right now we have a sale at brighthawkproductions.com. And if you go order that book, you get the ebook for free, where Brighthawk tells the story, plays handpan music, and I edited it with some animal sounds, and it's beautiful. You can see the preview on the website.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Message
Made my
me
first ebook.
message me the link so we can post it.
Oh, yeah.
But we are going to move on to our next guest, but we will have you back after the commercial break.
Okay.
Yeah. It's so weird to not have my co-host here to bounce things off of. So like my brain's going in a million different directions, but I'm going to put that link up. Izzy, we'll talk to you in a few minutes.
Okay.
See ya. I adore them so much. Why is nothing working? Okay. Let me get that link up for all of you. You just go to, oh my gosh, I do not know how to internet tonight. Just check it out over at brighthawkproductions.com. Come on, post it on all of the things. There we go. You can check it out. brighthawkproductions.com. Brighthawk is so talented and so amazing and such a gentle soul. I adore her so much. But we have another guest to get to, and I am so excited. I found this guest on TikTok many months ago, and when they were on, we had such a good time. We were having so much fun, and I knew in this month I wanted to bring them back. So let's welcome. Wait, let me press other buttons first. Gosh, wow. This is what happens when Mama has to do all the work by herself. Let's welcome back to Inside the Drag Closet, the incredible Jay Crimson. Why can't I press buttons tonight?
Hello. Hi, everybody. You good?
I'm falling apart over here, Jay. Alrighty, Jay, give us a little who, what, where about you.
Well, hello. My name is Jay Crimson. You can call me Jay, or you can call me Tonight if you're desperate. I'm a Canadian drag king that Wow, words today are hard. That
Tell me about
landed
it.
in the Appalachian Mountains, which is one hell of a culture shock, let me tell you. I am a TikToker, a Twitch streamer, mental health advocate, a chaotic individual, and overall very fucking gay. I am the resident chaotic creative cryptid on Twitch and TikTok, and a proud member of Team Stream Queens on Twitch. I deal in good times, bad gaming, and of course, a lot of chaos. I am also Two-Spirit from the Ojibwe Nation. So, what I'm wearing is, on my face, I'm wearing a lot of Mayron and ELF. I am wearing Amazon, Spirit Halloween, thrift stores, and as far as my jewels go, they go from the amazing Aradia LaFay. And where can we find you? You can find me over on any social media if you look up King J Crimson, or you can go to jcrimson.com and find all of my socials there. But I'm mostly on Twitch 5 days a week, twitch.tv/King J Crimson.
Nice. You got right to the point.
Yeah, I'm used to saying it like 5 days a week.
I bet. So what is new and exciting with you since the last time you were on?
Oh, a whole lot of the same thing. I'm mostly just on Twitch a lot. I get into makeup. I play a bunch of games, and overall, a whole lot of chaotic stuff. I'm jingling away. Sorry. Recently, I've been doing a whole lot of Indigenous stuff. I recently started connecting with the Ojibwe Nation and connecting with my people, and kind of diving headfirst into that, which is what all this is for today, especially for Indigenous Heritage Month. Love your makeup. Thank you. Yeah, so that's kind of what I've been up to. Is the last, I'd say 2.5 to 3 months, I've been doing a lot of Indigenous paints and Indigenous outreach and teaching and learning and things like that. Yeah.
Fantastic.
I moved to the Appalachians like 2 months ago, so it's been hectic to say the least. Yeah.
You were saying like your body was just like not used to the temperature
Oh
change.
my god, yeah. So I grew up on Vancouver Island, which is on the water, super humid, really temperate weathers, really mild. And then I came here and I thought it's, in Ontario is same thing as it's, not that high up in elevation because I moved to Ontario a year and a half ago. And it was, mild temperatures ish, very humid. So I was kind of used to the humidity already. And then I came here, I was like, I'm not even that far away. So it shouldn't be that bad. Like I'm not that far south, but it's so much hotter than I expected it to be and so dry. My face felt really weird like after the first week. And then it was awful. I had my skin was cracking really bad. I had nosebleeds all the time. It turns out I'm ridiculously allergic to something out here too. I think it's ragweed. It was not a good time. I had to stop doing makeup for 2 weeks. I was so mad, but it's better now.
Nice. You're getting a lot of compliments on your makeup.
Thank
Eve Brown
you.
loves it. Vicky is saying your makeup is so beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Eve wants to know, where did you move to?
I moved to West Virginia.
Yep. Last time you were still up in Canada.
I was. Yes, I am Canadian. Very much. How's it going, Canadian? So it's quite the culture shock. Why are your drinks at McDonald's so big? That's my biggest question.
Mind your business. That's why. So you've been leaning very heavily into your Ojibwe heritage lately.
Yes.
What has that been like?
Oh, massively huge. It's a beautiful journey. So I learning not only about myself, but how I grew up. So I grew up in a very, very white household. There's no denying I'm a pale freaking person. And it was a huge culture and journey for me to go from that to where I am now and decolonizing my life and learning about why I do why I did the things I did and why I believed the things I believed, to looking at it from a decolonized perspective. And it's been one hell of a spiritual journey, absolutely phenomenal. I can't ask for a better story. Last 6 months has been incredible, and I don't really know how else to explain it other than just I'm very, very incredibly thankful for my Ojibwe family.
That's amazing. A lot of people, explain, because a lot of people don't understand the different cultures. And there's actually a very well-known drag performer who is also of Ojibwe
My cousin,
origin.
yes, that would be Trixie Mattel.
Sure is.
Yeah, Trixie Mattel is Ojibwe. And my partner is also Ojibwe, and they're ones who got me reconnected. I am jingling. I'm wearing bells. Very traditional to wear bells to talk to the ancestors so they can hear you. That's why I'm jingling away. I'm not playing Christmas music, I promise.
That's funny. A Cryptid Does Stuff says, Facebook wouldn't let me say hi, so I'm on YouTube. LOL.
Oh, hello, Cryptid.
And I can tell you and Violet love each other very much because they keep sending
They're in the other room, watching right now.
Aw. I love that. How long have you two known each other?
We were in the same so we met through a drag. It was my very first drag online competition, and we met through there. And we kind of knew who each other were for a little while. We didn't really start actually talking until after the show had ended. And it happened. I don't want to say it was that typical lesbian thing where you fall in love and then move in 2 months later. But that kind of did happen. It was quite beautiful how it happened. And we just started talking, and it just kind of happened really naturally fast, if that makes any sense. Usually quick isn't natural, but in this case it felt perfect.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
They always joke around the typical lesbian romance is first date, you go out to dinner. Second date, you get the U-Haul. Third date, you're buying another dog.
Right? Yeah. And I don't think it would have gone as fast if when I was living in Ontario, I had moved from British Columbia to Ontario to As a minor trigger warning for you all, I was escaping a very abusive situation. I was leaving my husband of 10 years, who I had to get arrested. It was a whole ordeal. And I moved to Ontario to get away. And I unfortunately moved into a very homophobic and transphobic house. And I didn't think it was that bad at the time, but then it got really bad. And then Violet said, fuck that, you're moving in with me. And that's kind of what happened. So,
Aw,
yeah.
that's amazing. So, one thing we talked about before the show, and I'm very intrigued. I've been waiting to ask you this since you said it earlier.
Okay.
You have not done a live show yet.
I haven't, no. I'm hoping to eventually get to Vice Versa in Morgantown. That's one of the closest bars that do shows that are open to kings. So I am a quarantine king. Sorry, my headphones are dying. Give me 2 seconds.
Ooh. I'm so excited for this.
So like I said, I'm a quarantine king, and it was really interesting how it came about, because I was going to debut like in my hometown. They were looking for drag kings, and I said, I've never done it before, but I sure would love to do it. And they said, great, awesome, that's great. And then you can show up. And then the day I was supposed to like go to this one bar, which was, kind of, anyway, it just didn't happen because quarantine had hit that night. And there we go. Now my headphone just connected, so now I'll be able to hear you. Yeah, and so quarantine happened, and that was March of 2020. And then I just sort of kept doing it, and I was mostly on TikTok at the time. And then I found out that there were drag kings and stuff doing competitions on Instagram and Facebook. And so I got involved in that, and then just kept going. And then moved over to Twitch and started doing a whole lot of Twitch stuff. And now the quarantine is not quite over, but is getting a little bit safer for people to perform now. I still haven't, I guess, popped the live cherry yet.
So what do you think your first number is going to be?
Oh, I've thought about this. And one of my favorite performances that I ever did on the virtual stage was my very popular Demon King look to E-Girls Are Ruining My Life by Corpse Husband. So I think I would probably recreate that because it's one of my staple looks. I love that look so much. And I love Corpse very, very much. I love his music. So I'd probably do that. Because I do like doing the scary, sexy things. Like, that's kind of my shtick. So
we had a king on recently, Dante Virgil.
I love Dante.
Oh, he was so much fun. He's taking a bit of a break right now for his health, but he was so fun. Like, I could see the two of you collaborating. And
totally. Dante's work is absolutely phenomenal. Phenomenal. He
is such an artist, and I don't understand the process, and I love that I don't understand the process. It just captivating. So captivating. Jamie Angel just said, now, when you tell people you are looking forward to being somewhere with "I'll be there with bells on," people will wonder if you mean it literally or figuratively.
I know. Oh my goodness. So typically, in at least in Anishinaabe, you've probably heard of jingle dresses. A lot of women will wear these jingle dresses. Men obviously don't wear jingle dresses, but they do wear bells on their wrists and ankles. And so that's why I'm wearing the bells today. And it's more of a telling the ancestors and the spirits where I am so they can hear me.
Oh, I love that. That's fascinating. Oh, I'm so excited to chat with you more, but we do need to take a quick commercial break. When we come back from the commercial break, we are going to do a rapid fire round of Just Ask Jade. So everybody get your questions ready, and we will be back in just a couple minutes for some Just Ask Jade, and then both of our guests will be here to answer all of your questions. We'll see you in a few minutes. Where's the commercial?
WLFE Digital Broadcast Network is on TV. You can watch all of our shows on WLFE-DB.com. Check out our channels. Paranormal View for all of your paranormal type shows. LGBTQ Friends for all of our LGBTQ shows. Variety Unlimited for all other shows. It runs 24/7 right on WLFE-DB.com. You'll even catch the lives, all in one place. Never miss an episode, past or future. WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows. Here at WLFE-DB, you can find shows that vary in many topics. The paranormal, the creepy, heavy metal, and LGBTQ and drag. Our shows are your shows, and we want to provide a wide diversity for all to enjoy. So, tune in to facebook.com/WLFE-DB Radio. Like, follow, and share with your friends and family. Also, go check out our website at www.WLFE-DB.com. 2021 just got better. Your favorite shows from WLFE-DB Radio can now be found on Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Yes, we now video stream to both of those platforms. Search for your favorite shows like Where's My Sage, Inside the Drag Closet, Across the Pond, Everything Yet Nothing, Paratalk Radio, Step into the Paranormal, The Creepy Parlor, Just Cindy, and more. Now you won't miss an episode. Remember, follow Facebook Live and YouTube Live. Make sure you subscribe and follow your favorite WLFE-DB radio shows.
More from WLFE-DB Radio Network after this.
Hey guys and dolls, this is Casey DeVille, the better half of DeVille Inc., Baltimore, Maryland. If you're ever in Baltimore, stop in and see me and Tony. Invisible Bree, 5920 Eastern Avenue, Baltimore, Maryland, 21224. Give us a call if you're in the area at 410-400-9641, or look us up on the web at DeVilleInc.com. DeVille Inc., where we specialize in you.
Oh, yeah. Life just got sweeter now that WLFE-DB has merchandise. Show your support by purchasing your t-shirts for WLFE, Paratalk Radio, Inside the Drag Closet, and more. But it doesn't stop there. T-shirts, coffee mugs, tanks, buttons, cloth bags, and more. Go to WLFE-DB.com. On the top bar, click on the merchandise tab, and bam, there you go. You got merch. Support the shows. WLFE-DB.com.
You're listening to WLFE-DB Radio. Now, back to our program.
Oh, you're back already. Sorry. Just looking at myself. I'm kind of feeling my look tonight, I'm not going to lie. But we are here for a little Just Ask Jade, the segment where you can ask a drag queen anything. So, in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to let all of you ask me anything. You can just type that in the chat. I will do my best to answer every single question that comes in. So, I'm ready when you are. I love doing stuff like this. It always becomes absolute shenanigans. There's also a time delay from StreamYard to live, so I've got a minute to just figure out what exactly is going on. I'm really loving this dress, except it is not fitting right. So kind of bummed. I lost a bunch of weight. All of my 2X stuff was a little too big. Vicky got the first question. Mashed potatoes or sweet potatoes? Mashed potatoes. I don't know why. And they have to have gravy on them or else no thank you. Has anyone ever restarted or stopped after an incident? After an incident? What? Oh, there it is. Worst performance incidents you've done and seen, not including wigs coming off our stage falling. I feel very called out. Worst incident I've ever seen. I really saw a bad incident in person. I have seen some terrible stuff, like girls seriously. No, I know what it was. There was a girl performing at a venue. I know she's been on the show and I'm blanking on her name right now. She sat up on a balcony or on a railing and went off the end and fell downstairs. There is no recovering after that. Robin says, if there was one food item you could only eat for the rest of your life, what would it be? An unagi roll with some tempura on it. something like that. Orion, what was the first musical you ever performed in, and what was your role? I was in kindergarten. It was the Teddy Bear Tea Party. Cute little cheesy little thing. In third grade, I was in The Jungle Book, and I played Bagheera the panther. Raven wants to know, what are your thoughts on bars not giving spots to alt drag artists, AFAB kings? Obviously, I don't like that. I think everybody should have equal opportunities to go out and perform everywhere. I know some venues are very skeptical about certain types of drag. I think they need to get over it. And I think they need to start booking more, how did you word it? Alt drag artists. I love that. We obviously, Inside the Drag Closet is very open to all styles of drag. I want more show directors to be on the same page with that. Cassie wants to know, what is my least favorite part of drag? Putting it on. I love doing drag. I hate getting into drag. I absolutely loathe it. Every time I sit down here to do my makeup and everything, I'm just like, this again? Really? Eve Brown, any tricks for applying makeup if your face breaks out to minimize them? Ooh, I have had very problematic skin for a long time. I've had a chemical peel done. I don't recommend going out and doing it to everybody. As you can, if I go like this, one, you can see my hairline isn't staying down. And two, I am acne scarred. There's nothing I can do to fix that at this point other than really expensive procedures that I can't afford to do. I don't really break out anymore, which I'm very grateful for. I wash my face every time I get out of drag. People think it's so questionable that when I get out of drag, all I do is get in the shower, wash it off, and I use shampoo to take my makeup off. I haven't had any problems. I don't have problem skin anymore, so maybe that does it. Trent Hexam, what is your dream venue to perform at? Oh, sweet Jesus. Oh, damn. My dream venue, I want to perform at the Blackfriars Theater with Kasha Davis. I think that would be the best show ever. That would be amazing. Orion, how did I meet my husband? He was coming to a show to support a friend of his that did drag. And I was in the basement in full drag already with our good friend Aurora F. Sterling. He came up to us and was like, hey, do you ladies know Aaron? And we were like, who the hell is that? It was our friend Tyra, who sadly is no longer with us. But yeah, that's how we met. We didn't hit it off right away, but we hit it off about a year and a half later. So that's all that matters. Most face-friendly makeup. I'm not going to lie. I am a huge fan of these cream sticks from Wet n Wild. They're just a foundation. They're really good. I have not had any problems with them. They're very good coverage. Yeah, I love them. And Cassie wants to know, what is your favorite item in your drag closet? My painting hoodie, because it's the most comfortable thing I have. Yeah, that's it. Alrighty, I think that was all the questions we're going to get this evening. That was fun. I enjoyed that. I love a rapid fire Q&A session. I think they are super fun. They're super therapeutic, and they get to let you know me a little bit more. But speaking of getting to know people a bit more, we're going to bring back our fabulous guests. Now, at this point, if you have any questions for them as well, feel free to ask as we welcome back IZZY AHEE and Jay Crimson. Let me move some stuff around. Let's do this. Let's give you kids the spotlight a little bit more.
I feel like we're dancing.
Right? It's fancy. So, a cryptid has another question. What's a makeup look you wish you could do? Any of them. I am obsessed with a musical group called Steam Powered Giraffe.
Yes.
I love steam powered giraffe. I've tried it once and I had mixed results with it, but I want to do like an animatronic steampunk robot.
Mhm.
I'll do it at some point on the show.
I wanted to help Eve. Eve, there are organic makeup, and I wash my face with coconut oil.
Ooh. I
So
wash my face with an oil emulsifier as well, and it really helps.
yeah, if you use coconut oil when you're done and wipe it off with like a warm cloth, it comes right off, and it helps leave your skin like you kind of treat it really good. And you can use. I have like foundation and stuff. If you do a foundation that's organic, you won't break out sweat.
Mhm.
Nice. I've been using a primer from Wet n Wild that's cucumber, which is probably just a whole bunch of chemicals in a bottle, but I like it.
They have a lot of those out here in Boulder. But
Yeah,
yeah, Pennsylvania. You might have to order them online.
I'm all right with that.
Yeah.
Last time I used an oil, I was using a peppermint oil for something and I broke out so badly. Like people thought I had a rash and I was like, this is not good.
Hmm.
So
Sometimes
what?
the whatchamacallit, the glue will make my face break out from putting on a beard.
Yeah. Oh, Orion has a great question here.
Oh.
I have a question for Jay. My next lesson plan for my preschoolers is on Native American culture. I'm having a horrible time finding teaching materials that are not super insensitive. One called I is for Indian or super over their heads. I want to teach them to understand beyond the stereotype. Do you have any suggestions?
Yes, I do actually. So am I allowed to plug my website real quick?
Absolutely. Go right
Okay,
ahead.
go to my website, jcrimson.com, and scroll down. I have tons of resources there, right there on my website for you to learn what you can do to help. There's some education sources down at the bottom as well. Otherwise, you can also go to native-land.ca and you can see exactly what nation you are currently living on and reach out to the specific tribe in your area and ask them if they have any resources. I guarantee you there's some children's books there that will be able to teach you and be able to teach your kids.
Wow, that's awesome. How do I word this? I don't know how I word this. I'm a little.
Just go for it.
We were in our group chat during the commercial break, and I'm like, I am an idiot tonight. I'm just.
Is it a Bones Day? I feel like it's not a Bones Day.
I have no idea. There's just.
If you don't understand that reference, it's from TikTok.
How dare you? I'm on nativeland.ca right now, trying to figure out where exactly I am.
You can type in the exact city and it'll tell you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then you click on it and it'll give you all the resources and information about the specific land that you're on.
Ooh.
It's a Bones Day? All right. It doesn't feel like it.
So I am in... Oh, this is amazing.
Isn't it cool?
I am very much in Susquehannock territory. That's amazing. It's basically most of Pennsylvania is Susquehannock. It is a Bones Day. I need to figure out that TikTok trend.
Look up Noodles the Pug. That's where it came from.
Noodles the Pug. I'm writing it down. So, kids, if you have any questions for our fabulous guests, by all means, feel free to ask them. We could actually ask some of the questions that were already asked. Let's see. Actually, I want us all to answer this question from Raven Johnston. What are your thoughts on bars not giving spots to alt drag artists?
I think that they need to get with the fucking times. It's really frustrating when spots are like, you hear about inclusivity and it's not really inclusive. It's like you look at their lineup and there's maybe one black artist. There's maybe one king. If you're really lucky, there might be a non-binary artist. But that's it. It's like, that's not really inclusive. That feels more like a token. And I'd like to see a much more diverse cast when I look at lineups. because it's more than just Rue Girl Queens. So much more.
Very true.
I want to say that depending on where you are in the country, where you are in the United States, I don't know how Canada is because I haven't been there much, but I haven't been there at all yet. But I plan to drive across it. But in places like Portland, although it's not very colorful as far as race goes, but generally it's not very colorful in Oregon. But in general, they're usually pretty inclusive as far as non-binary or gender variant drag. And I would say actually here in Denver, is pretty open. But if you go like outside of the city, then it starts to get a little bit more like what you guys are talking about, just drag queens, just white drag queens. And I haven't found that Harrisburg was particularly like that. Harrisburg always had a couple of people of color usually, and usually once if kings were available, they're usually included. Not always, but sometimes there were shows that were all kings. For me personally, though, here in the places that I've traveled in the country and been in drag shows, it really depends on where you are in the country and how diverse that area is. That particular city, right? Like Denver is particularly diverse. So if you go to a Denver drag show, you're likely to see a pretty diverse cast. Here, a lot of it's interesting because a lot of the bar owners want you to have a drag king and a drag queen running the show.
Ooh,
that's good.
They don't want one or the other. They want two. But that's just here, because it's more appealing. It brings in more people, so it brings in more of a diverse crowd. And Denver is very diverse. I mean, compared to Harrisburg, it's hugely diverse.
Our Pride Board out here in Central PA, and I have to throw a lot of credit to the incredible Scarlet Overkill. We have decided we are now going to have a mixed title for Pride.
I love that.
It is no longer going to be Mr. and Miss. It is now going to be Mix. MX.
I love it.
We got a comment from Divas Down Under. We try very hard to include performers of all kinds.
Yes, we love that.
Which is very true. We don't, while a lot of people thank me for getting them in that show, I don't get anybody into that show. That's my husband's show, and he doesn't ask me a damn thing. But we have had mixed results using kings before, which I hate, but the audience just doesn't understand. And I'm like, why? Why don't you get it? Like, it's still drag, but
because maybe they're only, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
I think sometimes with a lot of people who are like really into drag, their only real exposure to drag is RuPaul, which is unfortunate. It's so unfortunate because that's not just drag. Like, there's so much more. That's a tiny little snippet, and you're missing the rest of the iceberg.
Yeah,
I found the Harrisburg crew, like the Harrisburg crowd, stumbled on drag. Especially, I remember when I first came out as a drag king, it was like people had a hard time comprehending. I'm like, why is this any different than being a drag queen, but I'll tell you, other parts of the country are not like that. So, like, you gone to Delaware, right? Delaware is a little bit less. Delaware is a little bit more, and especially like Rehoboth. Sorry, Rehoboth. I grew up there. I'm allowed to call it Rehoboth. And they, I found them to be, although they're lacking in kings, they're open to kings, and the crowd seems to appreciate kings.
There are very few kings in that area, and I've done a few gigs in Delaware, and I have not worked with a king down there yet, but I would like to emphasize yet, because it's going to happen. I just haven't met them yet. That's what happens when Xavier retires. When he comes out of retirement, I'm going to work with him, right, Jay? I don't think
Yes.
he's watching tonight, but I'm giving
Oh, I
him
thought you were
great-
talking to me. I was really confused.
No. There's an amazing trans man down in Delaware, Xavier. He was on the show 2 months ago and just super knowledgeable, super intelligent. He used to be a king. He's thinking about doing it again, but he's like, I don't know. I'm like, do it. Do it.
I always say the world needs more kings.
It does. Well,
We
I
need more
was very
venues to book
inspired.
kings too.
The first month you both were on, we dedicated the whole month to kings, and that last show of that month, me and all of my co-hosts did king looks, and we
I
had
saw that.
so much fun.
Oh, you guys looked incredible.
I'm never painting chest hair on again. I like it. My shower looked like it was just.
This is why I just want to get like a silicone suit. I just want to get myself some man flesh and then just paint it once and I'm done.
Smart. Eve Brown, always with the really good questions. If you had to convert only items in your existing daily wear wardrobe and things around your house not associated with anything you have ever done in drag for an impromptu drag performance, what should your go-to items be and what type of performance would you do in them?
Like, are we talking like makeup too? Or just like clothing and pieces? Because I guess for me, like my wigs would be out, but I could style my hair, I suppose. I've got enough hair to make a cool style. I started with just a closet stuff. I started really poor and like I stole it. I stole a jacket from my dad and I went to Walmart and I got like the manliest kind of button-down shirt I could find. And so I think I could make it work. I'd just be going back to my roots. I wouldn't be able to have any of the jewels anymore, but like could make it work.
I don't know. I managed to do like an AC/DC type of song, really simple song, AC/DC. And I took a jean jacket, cut off the sleeves, and just wore like a flannel shirt with it.
Yeah.
You know, like
Ooh,
old
I just got an
grunge
idea.
style. And then if you know, and I didn't have to work that hard, and I wore one of the hats that I already have, and it was really just stuff out of my closet. But I ended up doing this whole performance about AC/DC. So, you know, you can always be creative. For me, it's more about the performance, more about the dance, more about the interaction with the audience. So for me, like I'm the performer. Like makeup to me is like, can we just get it over with?
Yeah.
Same.
I actually just got a really good idea when you mentioned AC/DC. I guess I would probably throw on like I've got some country stuff around here that's like I could probably throw on some jeans and I got a cowboy hat and whatever. I could probably just find like one country song that if I performed it right would be hella fucking gay. Because there are a few that like if you read between the lines, it sounds like two gay lovers.
No, I wish I could remember that. I'm blanking on the name of the song, but there's actually a song about coming out of the closet and it's country.
Yeah, I would totally do something like that.
Yeah.
I would totally do something like that.
I am here for it.
Yeah.
All right.
And I think there was a you know what song is also great to do that's really hilarious is She Thinks My Tractor's Sexy.
Oh my god.
Wear yourself a John Deere t-shirt, put on a pair of jeans and some boots.
Got it.
I am here for it. Oh, the fabulous Miss Paula Frost is watching. She says, "How you blew up?" Trent Haxum wants to know, is there a group number you would love to do or want to do?
I did it. We did it. My whole drag family did it.
That's
We did it.
awesome.
YMCA. Remember
Oh my
all of
God.
us guys? We did it all. I got a bunch of drag kings together and we did YMCA.
I have plans on doing a group number actually with my drag family. We haven't figured out which song we're doing yet, but I know that there is a duo that myself and my fabulous Cryptid does stuff that's in the comments somewhere. We want to do Obedient Servant and just like talk back and forth with each other. We both have like these very strong demon characters, and it would just be hilarious for them like talking back and forth to each other.
I love that. Derek just said, I'd like to check you for ticks is a hilarious song.
I think I might have did that one, Jared. That one, and I know I did Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy Eve. I almost want to send you my T-shirt that says something about a cock. So, and it has like a cock on it, a rooster. So yeah.
Oh, Orion just said, I want to do a duet with someone to the song that goes like this from Spamalot. I know every word, just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there. There was another question in here. Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. Oh no, we were answering it. Never mind. I get to run everything tonight.
You're doing wonderful.
Thanks.
It's kind of like a juggling act.
It really kind of is. I'm going to throw the two of you on the spot for a second.
Uh-oh.
Jay, is there any question you have for Izzy?
Yeah, how long have you been doing drag, Izzy? Because you're phenomenal.
Wow. Wait a minute. When did Derek propose to you, Jade, at the drag show?
2014. Or no, that was back in 2012.
That's the drag show that I seen as an audience member.
Yep.
And that was when I was inspired to ask about amateur drag race, and I had to wait a period of time. But that's when I came out as a drag king, and I created IZZY AHEE. So since 2012, and I've done at least one thing per year, at least one live performance. In COVID, I've done a video and a couple of live shows. I did it for Denver Pride, BLM Denver Pride. So I did actually really special BLM video just for that. That was really special. So
Nice.
Yeah, every year I've done something.
That's amazing. So like close to what, 9, almost 10 years now.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm all old and shit.
You're old. I'm your mother.
Oh, well, doesn't that make you feel even older, Jay?
That's why these are hanging down here. Okay.
Yeah, you were doing this earlier.
These are my cruel genetic fate sleeves.
Well, talk about being old, right?
Well, and Izzy, do you have any questions for Jay?
I do actually. I wanted to ask you earlier, but we didn't have a second. On your face, your makeup was really phenomenal. By the way, I wish I was that talented. I'm just not. And so you see that, like it almost looks like a bird.
This here?
Yeah. Is that representative of like a bird or something for the indigenous?
It was actually. So my given name that I gave myself is Raven. And so and of course my drag name is Jay. I'm very much connected to birds, particularly ravens. Like there's 2 ravens back there on my wall. So yeah, I did that on purpose to look like a bird.
Yeah, fabulous. I actually noticed that and I was like, I'm pretty sure
I was hoping somebody would.
Fabulous. That's really fabulous. Well done. Well done.
Thank you.
That's incredible. There was another question here. I saw it just a second ago. I swear, what is wrong with me? Basically, someone was asking if that was your actual hair, Jade.
Me? No, this isn't my real hair. This is a wig. I wish that I had beautiful long locks like this. I'm growing it out. I did when I first started reconnecting to the Ojibwe Nation. I did a hair cutting ceremony and cut it all off, so it's still growing back.
That's wild.
So it's pretty short right now.
Paula would like to point out she loves the makeup on all of us. So well thought out and executed perfectly.
Thank you.
Perfectly. That's exactly what she wrote. Eve Brown pointed out, I think some of the reason that we don't have more drag kings and many retire is because so many are trans men, and after transition, it may be difficult to figure out where to take one's drag character. It is kind of the same thing, same as the mentality of cis women not doing drag queen things. So again, is back to much of the old concepts and stereotypes. I think that's valid. You know, I do know a lot of kings who have since transitioned, slowly getting back into doing drag. So yeah.
I think
Ooh.
some of the call to drag is the, at least for me, when I was questioning my gender, to be able to present as a masculine person and be seen masculine was a gift all in itself. And I think that's what a lot of drag people, either way, are searching for initially. That may not be why they stay or continue, but I think that that has a lot to do with it. And then once we realize, then if we're validated through surgery and hormones, then it becomes less of a drive, and so something else has to drive you. And I don't know, that's different for different people.
Hmm. I think a lot of the times too, people associate drag with doing an opposing gender role. And so when typically for trans men who do masculine drag, they sort of feel like, oh, well, now that I'm masculine and it's it's just because of society says that you have to. They feel like maybe they can't anymore. And I felt like that when I first, when I first started drag, I identified as a cis woman, and then I identified as non-binary, and then identified as trans, and now I'm two-spirit. And so like there was this kind of gender journey for me. And I did question if when I went masculine, can I still do this? But you can. Like anybody can do any form of drag. Women can be drag queens. Men can be drag kings. Trans men, you can do whatever style of drag you want. And fuck society that says you can't. Like I've been told so many times that if I'm gonna pretend to be a man, I shouldn't wear like eye makeup like this, and that's dumb. So do what you want.
There's a really good quote that's been floating around. It's been a meme, it's been everything, and it's basically like all clothing is unisex if you stop being a bitch about it.
Yes, I agree.
Simple
I
as that.
self-identify as a pretty boy, which means I want to be perceived as a masculine individual displaying femininity.
Mm-hmm.
That's me in a nutshell. My drag and me.
The name of Jay Crimson's autobiography. There was another. Paula has a really good question here. How can we help to promote kings in this game?
Book us.
Book them, yeah.
Book us and tell producers that you want us.
Mm-hmm.
Drop our names.
And don't be afraid to hand us the microphone.
Yes.
Yep.
Absolutely. And we're all over the place. Share, like, comment, share. Do the things. People need to be able to see us.
In fact, definitely go and follow these two on all of their social media. They are both amazing. You will not be disappointed. The next question, it's directed at Izzy, but I kind of want us all to answer it. If I invited you to my preschool to read a book, what book would you choose to read? And Izzy, you can't say Dancing Hippo.
Oh, I was going to say. I don't know. It's the best book.
Ooh, that's a good one. There's so many great Indigenous stories that I'd love to read. I think I'd probably read about how the raven turned black. I think that would be a really cool story to learn. The original story is that the raven was in fact white and then went to find fire for man. And it changes from nation to nation. Each nation has a different story, but the particular story that I know is the raven was originally white, had this beautiful, beautiful singing voice, went to go get fire, and then he burned his wings, singed his wings, and the smoke and everything got into his throat. And that's why he has a terrible croak now. And I think that's the story I'd like to tell.
Ooh, I like that. Izzy, you look like you're ready with one.
No, I'm not.
Oh, you're not?
I totally feel stupid that I don't know some other book. I'm sure I do know another book, and most of the time in the last like 5 years, I've mostly been supporting Brighthawk, a great storyteller. And then I'm like, I could have I could have Brighthawk do, this isn't me reading a story, Because what she does is she tells the story and I dress up as the character. It's like drag for kids. And the kids have a great time. We do it at the fair. I come in as the Hobbit. She tells a little story. While all the kids are paying attention to the story, I slip off stage, change into something, and come out in character as like a hippo. I came out as a Irish farm boy, a fabulous farm boy. Like I have shiny green pants and an Irish hat, and I do this whole Irish thing. It's this Irish story about taking too much from the land that Bright Hawk and I did together. So we kind of make up the stories together, and then she does these storytelling. So that's really my favorite thing. So if you hired me for your preschool, I'd be like, no, you don't want me to read a story. No, you want Bright Hawk to come, tell the story, and I'll perform it. And I just come out and do like silent drag, and I dance around or make faces or fall out or whatever. And it's hilarious. The kids think it's great.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
so fun. I have a book that I always recommend to people. It is called Red, a Crayon Story. And it's all about a crayon called Red. Red's wrapper is red, but red is a blue crayon. So Red doesn't
Ooh.
understand how to do red. Red wants to be red. Red sees the name Red, but Red deep down is not red. It isn't until Red becomes the ocean that Red's like, but I can do blue really well, that Red realizes that what's on the outside doesn't matter. It's what's on the inside that counts.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more of the trans story.
It feels like
Well-
a trans allegory, yeah.
Yeah.
Most people see it as a trans allegory, but it's also like, don't try to be something you're not in general. Like
Mhm.
my whole life, my family was just like, just get like a safe job, like go into computer programming. I'm an actor. I need to act. I need to perform. That's what I need to do. So if I got that computer job, I'd be miserable. I wouldn't be happy. I'd be making way more money than I'm making now, but I'd rather be happy than wealthy. I'd rather be both. Let's be honest. I would rather have the money and the happiness, but right now I'm going to settle with the happiness. Simple as that. It's also a really good trans allegory. I'm not discrediting that. Also a really good, Paula had one right here. Where is it? She commented on that. What story would she read? Everybody Poos.
Yes, that's a good one.
Fantastic one. Going back to talking about drag and trans men doing drag, Trent would like to point out, he says, I almost quit drag because when I started transitioning, people would just say I'm a girl dressed as a guy, and it was really heartbreaking. Now that I've figured out my style, I use my drag to show pride in my trans identity.
I love that.
It's so good. So good. And he's such a talented performer. Trent, we're going to have you back on the show sometime soon. Don't you worry. Marcy and Carrie, Jade, if you could read the book we got for the twins, the hips on the drag go swish, swish, swish. That's valid. My hips are downstairs in the dining room right now. They're doing what they need to do. Air out. Ooh. Jamie Angel is just coming at us with the amazing questions, the thought-provoking questions. If you could create a drag persona for a friend or family member for your character to perform with, what would it be, and whom would you like to create the persona for?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Right? I would turn my young sister into a king. I don't know what we would perform yet, but I feel like it would just be ridiculous. Like we would be doing spam a lot. We would be doing comedy because we're both goofballs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what it would be.
I don't think she'll ever do it, but I have an identical twin sister. She's not trans, I am. So we're identical, but we're really not. I would love to see her in drag one day. I think that she would look like, I want to see her be a king just for one day. Just for one day, because it was my egg crack moment, and I wonder what would happen to her if she saw herself in a king makeup. you know?
That'd be fun. How about you, Izzy?
Oh, it's definitely a tough question, and I'm like, so the one thing that I wanted to do that I haven't done yet, that I hope to do soon at some day, maybe in Portland, Oregon, with my drag wife Belladonna, I want to do Sonny and Cher because I think it would be
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh, I want to see that so much.
Because she does a pretty good Cher. And if I did Sonny, I just think it would be funny and it would be cute. So I want to do like one of their songs, one of their, duets. Yeah.
I am searching for the picture of the two of you as Gomez and Morticia.
Oof. Yeah.
Because it's so...
We have fun on stage together. We have a good time. I'm glad that she lives in Oregon because that's where that's where I want to move.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, in the next year, maybe in a couple of years, I might be living there with her. So,
I am
like she always makes jokes that I was going around spreading, going around sowing my oats. Now I guess we're going to retire to Oregon.
The photo is uploading right now. Like, this is just, it's so good.
Oh my God, I love that.
If you can find the performance on Belladonna's Instagram, I'm pretty sure it's on there.
That's right, because you did the Masochism Tango.
Yeah, well, I did the Masochism Tango by myself, but we did this other weird song, but we ended up making it look like Gomez, and the Addams Family, where I throw roses at her and she's all offended and throws a knife at me and shit. We did the whole thing. It was good fun.
Nice. Orion actually pointed out, going back to the children's book Red, Izzy, I also view Red as an allegory for me being ADHD. People expect me to be this neurotypical and only see what I cannot do instead of what I can, because they're so focused on what they want me to be versus what I am. Ooh.
I get it. Totally get it, Orion. I'm a total weirdo. People expect all kinds of shit from you. You know what I say about expectations? Shove it. So most of the time, I just do whatever I'm going to do, and then people don't like it, and I just shrug and go, it's not your life. It's mine.
Yeah. If other people don't like it, who cares? If you like it, that's all that matters.
Figuring out who you are is what's most important, and where you fit, not where the world is going to fit you.
That's right.
I've gotten very hooked on a TikTok, and I forget the exact name of the TikTok, but it's a gentleman who just turned 30. He is autistic, and he has this huge collection of Disney dolls. He can tell you when each doll came out, when her movie came out, when the VHS came out, when the DVD came out. And I just love watching that TikTok because I get to work with a lot of really wonderful autistic kids at work lately. And I'm just fascinated by the fact that I don't understand. I don't see things the way they see things. And this TikTok is just a wonderful glimpse into like the thing he's most passionate about. And I absolutely love it. Then he has a huge room full of Disney dolls. Huge room. And he's so
love
sweet.
Disney.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I don't know if it's his mother or his caretaker, but she like got him this new collection of the Disney villains in like glamorous gowns. And he was just showing them all off, showing their accessories, what goes with what. And I'm like, this just brings me joy. Like, I love it. Chanel says her son is autistic and always say he is my favorite square crayon.
Aw, that's so sweet.
It really is. Well, we've got about 10 minutes left, little less than 10 minutes. But one thing we always like to do on the show, and that is Derek's helpful drag tips. My husband is a show director for one of the biggest shows in central Pennsylvania, and he always likes to just throw a little knowledge out there. So we're all going to have a chance to chat about this because his helpful drag tip this week is practice your reveals. There is nothing sadder than watching a performer struggle on stage. To the audience, it feels like the power is going out as a DJ goes to make the beat drop. Any thoughts
I've witnessed
about
that. Yeah, I've witnessed that before. I think that you should, frankly, practice your whole number. I mean, I used to see it as exercise for my fat ass, but I'm a hobbit. I like to eat a lot. So, I mean, if you can at least practice a few times in front of the mirror, you do yourself huge favors, because the first time I don't practice will be the first time I can't get something off, or even if you just, practice the lyrics really well and look at yourself in the mirror and make sure you can take your whatever off in less than a minute or however long it needs to happen. I've definitely witnessed the clumsier, you didn't practice this, did you? It kind of makes me feel a little disappointed that you didn't prepare.
Yeah. From an audience standpoint, you're kind of like, oh, she tried. Yeah. Jay, anything to add to that?
Well, considering I've never performed live on stage, all of my big reveals have been done post-production. So I guess from a virtual stage perspective, get yourself several takes and then go into post-production and edit them together. And take your time editing them. Yeah, that's the best I could give you. And make sure your lighting's good.
Oh, super valid. A Cryptid Does Stuff says they've been on stage a couple times, and their first performance, they fell flat on their face. Literally.
No.
I think I remember you telling me that story, Cryptid.
I think of some of those things as a rite of passage too. Like, it's going to happen. You're going to have a stage fall on you at some point and end up on Willem's Beatdown because of it. A wig's going to fall off at some point. It's going to happen. You can be the most prepared performer on the planet. It's going to happen. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Laugh it off, learn from it, and move on.
Yeah, if something does go wrong on stage, you're better off just kind of laughing it off and
playing
it
into
off
it
and moving on, because then your audience will too. In fact, one of the best tips I've ever heard about performing live, and I guess this counts online too, is if you're having a good time, so is your audience. And that's kind of the most important thing, is that if you're having a great time at it, if you're going, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, and you're panicking, they're probably not, they're nervous for you, because most people are empathetic.
Yeah. I did a gig earlier this year. We got to the gig. Violet's comment reminded me of it. I was given a heads up. I was like, hey, just so you know, it's cobblestone. And I was like, ooh. And then when I got there, it wasn't cobblestone. It was gravel.
Oh, no.
So I was like, okay, Mama's going to bring some flats. I had never, I felt so weird because I'm in cute looking little flats, but I'm in flats. Like, my hips aren't moving like I normally do in drag, because wearing heels, I'm like, oh yeah, this is the only way it doesn't hurt to walk in these. Seriously, heels were invented by men to make women easier to hunt. But I was just like, this is so weird. At one point, I dropped into a split, and I was like, this was the easiest split ever, because the rocks just slid out from under me. The downside was my dress was way too long then. So I'm just stumbling on everything. I need to fix that dress anyway. But yeah, things happen. You move on from them. We have a couple more questions. Eve wants to know, what was your most memorable improvisation in a performance? I dry humped a werewolf this weekend.
You did what?
I dry humped a werewolf this weekend.
How'd that go?
I mean, I haven't gotten fleas yet, so
Okay.
yeah, I'm just doing a number, and this kid in a werewolf outfit puts a dollar bill in the mouth of the werewolf outfit, and I'm like, oh, game on. So literally, I came over, I took the dollar, and just started like grinding on this kid in a werewolf outfit. Then I kissed the head of the werewolf and moved on.
Oh my god, I love that.
I was a vampire at the time anyway, so it was weird. Who wants to go next?
You can go, Izzy.
I was thinking of the time I was in Portland and I was performing. I was actually doing Elton John. Now, just a little secret, I'm actually secretly a hobbit and I like to eat. So I got a little chunky on the road. And so I'm dancing, doing Elton. And my pants split in the back, you know, right on your ass. You know, I'm like, oh no, I heard it, I felt it, right? And I'm like, don't turn around because no one needs to see your cute little rainbow underwear. No. And so I didn't know what to do, so I just didn't show. But then at some point on that stage, you had to turn around and walk off the stage. And I was like, oh, Bright Hawk, I hope you don't film my butt hanging out. So that's the funniest thing that ever happened to me.
Well, how about you, Jay?
This happened last year when I was like right in the middle of all of the virtual drag shows that I was a part of. And I wanted to do like this really kind of cute, sexy kind of vampire thing. And I got a costume from Spirit Halloween, but the cape just kept falling off. And I was getting so frustrated with it. And I had to redo this take like 8 million times because I wanted to keep the cape on. And like finally I just got really frustrated and I just improvised and made it look real cool. And I like ripped off the cape in the middle of the performance and it looked really neat. And so I kept it in the performance. Yeah, that's the best improvisation I can think of. I probably have done others, but I can't remember them.
That's valid. I love that. This has been such a fun evening. I have really enjoyed reconnecting with both of you this evening. You both have a special place in my heart. We have a couple minutes left, so I want to give you both a chance to say goodnight to everyone, starting with IZZY AHEE.
Well, I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for having me on the show. I love drag and I love all of I just love your shenanigans, so I'm good. And I appreciate your show and I appreciate you, Jade, and all that you've done for me in drag. Because if it wasn't for you, I probably wouldn't be standing here right now. So thank you, Jade. And thank you, Jay, for inspiring me that, yes, even social media can love people like me. So thanks.
Amazing. Jay, do you have any last words for everybody watching?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me on the show. As always, it's been a massive pleasure. Jade, wow, words are hard. Fabulously phenomenal was what I was trying to say.
I appreciate it.
I always appreciate hearing from you and seeing your crazy shenanigans on this show. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for all the warm love in the chat. You're all amazing. Thank you. And go make some chaos.
Yeah. Oh, I love that message. I want to thank both of you for being here tonight. It has been such a fun evening. I wish Amethyst could have joined us. She would have had such a good time, but life sometimes takes us in a different path. You know, listen to what the universe is telling you, kids. It's saying things for a reason. I don't know what tonight's reason was. She would have had a good time, but whatever. I want to thank everybody out there who's watching. Make sure you tune in every week. Next week, we've got another fun episode planned. My co-host will be the incredible Scarlet Overkill, and we're bringing back 2 more guests, and I am super excited because I know they are good Judies, they are besties, and I've been trying to get them on the same episode for over a year, and we finally got it. We are going to have Asia Monroe and Volky Versace on the show next week. I don't know if I'm ready for it, honestly. I think I've got my work cut out for me. I think it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a night of chaos, as we like to say. And in this month of gratitude and being thankful for things, I want to thank both of you for inspiring me, inspiring my art, and go forth, keep inspiring people. I want everybody out there to try to inspire someone this week, even if that person is you. But there's only one thing left to say, and that is, good night, kids!
Good night.
You've been listening to WLFE-DB.com, where our shows are your shows.